Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning back into Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the newest Sadafi Brothers film, Uncut Gems. So this is the second collaboration from the directors, the Sadafi Brothers, and Daniel Lopatin, aka Oneohtrix Point Never, which they first collided a couple years ago on Good Time that starred Robert Pattinson, and I thought that was a pretty solid movie. But I mean, Uncut Gems over here is easily their crowning achievement in my opinion. And for those of you out there that have not seen this film, there will be some slight spoilers in here as I continue to talk about it, so this will be your fair warning. So as you know, this movie does star Adam Sandler in somewhat of a comeback role of sorts that's pulling him directly out of his element from comedy into a more serious role. And man, I gotta admit, like, I did not have any faith in that when I heard he was gonna be the lead in this, because you know when you see a comedic actor, especially like Sandler, where he would step into another role and you wouldn't be able to really displace their comedic quirks for what they're doing in a serious role, kind of takes away from it for you. Right out the gate, that does not occur here, in my opinion. I was completely transported away from that goofy, campy Adam Sandler side into the character of Howie. And that may be in part to the Sadafi brothers themselves, because this screenplay is so tightly written from front to back. It is a straight up white knuckle thriller, and how all of the characters like interact with each other just feels so natural. And even some non-acting first comers here like Kevin Garnett stood out and were really good in this movie too. Right out of the gate from this movie, it is interesting with like this ridiculous intro that ends up shooting you through Adam Sandler's asshole as he's getting a colonoscopy, which is really odd. And then from there, the movie is boom, it starts pretty much. And every little plot point that's peppered into this film is done so expertly well, where they're setting up the rest of what is to come, that ends up being a film mainly about addiction, but also a story about love and family and divorce. And the lens that the Sadafi brothers shoot this film through is so unique and just awesome. I mean, the way that they treat color in this movie is very interesting to me. There isn't like a very set, defined color palette. If anything, it all looks really busy, but color is always somewhat of a focal point. It's like you're looking through glass or literally a diamond as you're watching this film. And it gives it this very like natural kind of like raw feeling. And of course, Daniel Lopatin's score, it's fantastic. I mean, it pairs extremely well with what's going on in the film, because there's like this new agey sci-fi kind of feel to it that's a little mystical, but there's also like this zany, colorful aspect to it as well that represents what is going on through Howie's head in this film, and like the zany kind of weird things that he ends up doing. And of course, I mean, with a plot this tense, you know, you would want the soundtrack to really enhance that, and this absolutely does, in my opinion. And you know, the more I think about this movie, I mean, I definitely need to see it a second time, but maybe it's just me, but I almost felt that Adam Sandler's character Howie here represented the director in this movie, and Kevin Garnett seemed to represent the audience, and the gem that they mined from those caves out in Africa kind of reminds me of like the story in general and how it's propelled. And there's a scene specifically towards the end of this movie where Kevin and Adam Sandler are in an office and they're discussing the negotiation over the gem, and Kevin Garnett is literally yelling out at Adam Sandler like, you know what you're doing, you're messing with us, like you're messing with me, you're messing with my emotions, which is literally what happens in the film. The Sadafi brothers are messing with your emotions through the entirety of this movie. So I mean, I don't know, maybe that was just how I interpreted it, but I think it was pretty cool aspect and deeper layer to this story, because then when the twist hits you at the end, it's like, holy shit. So I mean, I absolutely love this movie and this soundtrack. I thought it was an absolute perfect pairing here and an improvement off of Good Time. And I highly suggest that you go out there and see this movie in a theater before it actually leaves. And yeah, I mean, my score on this film soundtrack combo will kind of be separated from a lot of the album reviews that I do on here. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm feeling a 10 over here on Uncut Gems and this soundtrack by Daniel Lopatin. Now, there is a vinyl pressing up for sale through Warp Records that I highly suggest scooping before it sells out. I'm gonna leave a link down below if you guys want to grab that. And also keep a lookout for this Blu-ray through A24, because that's like the best film studio out nowadays. I'll leave a link down below to them as well if you want to check them out. And let me know in the comments down below if you saw Uncut Gems, what you thought about the film. And as always, thank you for watching. If you want more content from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Peace.